Welcome back for video number 2 of my Audeze Maxwell wireless gaming headset extravaganza here. And as you can see, we're going to be talking about the comparison to the previous Audeze Penrose wireless gaming headset here. Is it worth the upgrade? Is it as good as those? Because y'all know I stinking love these, Or should you just get the Penrose since they're cheaper now, getting marked down that the Maxwells are coming out? But before we dive into this, I want to cover something and just reiterate 2 issues I had with my main review of the Maxwell. Number 1 being, some people stated I was calling someone out or some people out as far as my reference of not using graphs and not going company or corporate style reviews. I am not. I'm just again reiterating that this is how I go about my reviews. Again, consumer and gamer related. Let's relate to each other. Let's connect as gamers and consumers and talk about these products. Honestly, a stinking graph or these numbers and this stuff in the marketing material. I got marketing material from Audeze talking about measuring in these graphs, and I'm sorry, I don't refer to marketing material in my reviews. I refer to my time using them. But also talking about marketing material, maybe I should have glanced on it because I did make a mix up as far as the microphone. Talking about this button up here with the noise isolation or whatever it is with over here, I talked about it being noise isolation on the head, but that's not what it is. It's isolation for the microphone. And that's exactly where I'm going to start with this comparison here. Just to correct my issue on my first review, we're going to do that microphone test out that noise isolation, see if it's really worthwhile, if it's a beneficial feature, and again, hear the difference of the microphone. And then we'll get into my standard style as far as comfort, build, features, functions, and sound and stuff.
So let's kick it off with the Maxwell mic test. And right now we are running with the detachable microphone with the noise suppression button off. Just standard mic. And it's pretty cool because my big old light I have over here has a fan running inside it, and the AC actually kicked on. And as you all know, I don't have much sound dampening at all, if any, within my room here. So we're going to do this test. Again, you're hearing the microphone at its core here, but I want to see it do a couple claps and see how much echo we're picking up. Clap in front of me. Oh, shoot. You know what's a good idea? Hold on. Let me get this over here. Let me get this. Let's get a keyboard, and we'll test a keyboard. Now, I got no mouse pad underneath here. See how that sounds? Again, noise suppression is off here. Now, let me go in. Noise suppression on low right now. Get those claps again. See how it sounds. Again, AC is still running. Keyboard. I probably should have got a keyboard without silent switches, you know what I mean? But you'll still catch the vibe here. Let's go ahead and kick this. Noise suppression is now on high. And again, the microphone has been at the same distance right here. AC still running. Getting some claps right there, seeing what that sounds like. Again, our fan is still running there. Let's go and test the keyboard again. So there we go. That is the microphone here. Looking at my graph, I do see it picking up quite different within each setting. Let me go and turn noise suppression off again. Noise suppression is now off, and you know what? I'm seeing my graph. It's crazy. It's picking up more balance. When I turn that on, it really starts spiking. So I'm not sure what's going on right there. Pretty weird. I'm gonna go and pop this out real quick. All right, so that's out, and we are back onto the regular built-in microphones here, which I absolutely love this feature, as y'all know. But let's go on and try with noise suppression is on low. Claps right there, and it was weird, Keyboard. In my main video, I had a little bit of static at first. Then when I disconnected the microphone, went back, the static went away. No idea what that is. We'll see what we get right here. I'm going to kick noise suppression up to high. Noise suppression is now on high, again with our built-in microphones. And again, I got barely any sound dampening. AC still running here. There we go. Noise suppression high. Noise suppression is back off, and even with the built-in microphones, it's really weird. Now it's starting to pick up quite balanced there. What I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in right there. Okay, we are plugged back in and back to our core microphone. And as far as my basic test and my standalone review, this microphone sounded amazing when it was plugged in like this. And again, we have noise suppression off right here. So anyways, let's go ahead and plug up our Penrose and get that microphone test and see if we have much improvement here. And now you're hearing the microphone on the Audeze Penrose right here. And one thing I want to point out real quick, as I was putting this on, I just kind of noticed is this microphone, as far as being like moldable, it definitely just drops down. It doesn't hold its position very well. Now, I don't use microphones on headsets headsets quite a bit. I use the Elgato Wave 3 as my primary microphone on my PC setup, but this has been through extensive testing. I've used it a lot, molded around in and out of boxes, whatever, just tossed around, you know. So I think it's just kind of broken in, but this one feels the same, and I can see the same deal happening right here. Just wanted to point that out, something I just noticed here. As far as the microphone, this is what you're hearing here. Noise suppression, well, it's not on here. We'll see what it sounds like. And as far as my room, clapping. Is the AC still on? AC is still running. Okay. Blocks out real good with these wicked cushion frees here. Fan still running there. As far as the keyboard, so we can see right there, as far as an environment without any noise isolation or anything, AC running, fan running, keyboard and stuff. And as far as these microphones, are we seeing a improvement one over the other?
So I just listened to the mic playbacks on both of these here, and I will say that the Maxwell has more of like a broadcast feel. Again, as the core, whenever I fired up that noise isolation, it sounded a little bit more high-pitched. Definitely almost gave it some more just mic volume, like it was just receiving a little bit more is the vibe I got right there. Sounded pretty good actually with the built-in microphones with the isolation. Coming over here to the Penrose, it sounded almost like the built-in microphones. It was definitely a little more high-pitched, almost cell phone, you know. I wouldn't say walkie-talkie because there wasn't much static, but definitely higher pitched over here. This is more of a broadcast feel, and this is straight out the box. I'm not tweaking anything, dabbling with anything right there. I gotta give the microphone win definitely to the Maxwell. It just sounded really nice and professional. Now let's go and talk about comfort of both of these headsets. And just looking at it right here, I'm sure you can sum this up yourself, right? Let's go and start with the Penrose, guys. Look at how many stinking modifications I have on this right here. I got a different headband. I got my wicked cushion freeze over here, and no joke, out of the gate of this headset, the ear pads were just lacking. They were just smaller. They kind of compress in. It had a tighter clamping force, maybe a little bit right above that medium clamping force, so that combination right there, it just wasn't comfortable. I mean, I got a bald head, so the headband kind of bothered me. If you got a bigger, lofty head of hair, you probably wouldn't notice that bit. But for me covering these here, I had to do a lot of modifications to make these really bearable for long sessions. You know, and then plus now that they're broken in, I mean, they're very comfortable. They definitely are. But again, I got modifications. Talking about the Maxwell out of the box, like no joke, they are so incredibly comfortable. They're definitely built just like a pair of the Audeze headphones. You know, you got that big headband up there. The ear pads are incredibly soft, incredibly plush. They got that little angle, as you can see right here, a little bit bigger on the front, and they slope down smaller there. So what that's going to do is with our head shapes kind of flowing towards the back right there, it locks in there rather than giving you that pressure point of some other headsets that would curl back and press back there. You know what I mean? Incredibly stinking cozy here. The only flaw I would give it is that the ear pads are fully pleather inside out, top and bottom. Wicked cushions, as I stated, is working on some replacements on this, which would be really nice. I'm excited for that. But again, out the gate, that's not a deal breaker. These pads play into the sound. They really lock them in there and hold them into the place. I mean, both of these, they got the full swivel and all that stuff right there. But again, out the gate, box to box right here without mods, again, the Maxwell take the cake hands down. Now, let's talk about build. And you all can, again, sum this up if you watched any of my other reviews, right? The Penrose have gotten a lot of slack out there, people talking about them breaking. I've used the beans out of mine, tested them, dropping them, all sorts of stuff, and they're still hanging in there. They really are. But yes, they're all plastic. Our forks, our brackets going up into here, our headband, our cups, everything is plastic on this. And when I stretch it out, I want to go to like right here, and that's where I want to stop. It starts getting pretty tight. But again, I can twist it up. You got all that swivel. So again, all your key points, they got movement. But yes, it is a heavier headset with their planar magnetic drivers, and you got all that plastic. So if you're kind of careless and you just toss it around, kids using it and stuff, you might have some issue. You can get a little, a little worried about them. Coming over here to the Maxwell, guys, these things are absolute tanks. Again, built just like a pair of Audeze headphones. That top notch, you got these metal forks, metal headband up here. As far as stretching them out, that headband up here, it kind of, bam, it stops and snaps you right in that place to prevent you from going any further. So that's a nice reassuring thing right there. Again, you got all these movement parts. Now, as far as the Maxwells, they are a little stiffer here, but I don't think I can really give that, again, I've used these so much, so they're so broken in. These move around a lot easier, but I do recall the Penrose being very flexible and just, again, moving around a lot more easy out of the box compared to the Maxwell here. But I'm sure over time, these will break in a little bit more and start, giving way a little bit right there. But as far as core build, guys, I mean, again, I hate to keep going this route, but the Maxwell take the cake easily. Now let's go and talk about features and functions. I'm not going to go overboard with this like I did in my standalone review. Go check out the standalone review of the Maxwells and you will catch that in there. I really rambled on about it here. I'm just going to briefly go over it. So as you see on the back, you got your chat wheel, you got your volume wheel. Over here, you have your 3.5, you got your USB-C, microphone port, power button, mic mute on the side, pretty much laid out the exact same. You got your mic mute over here, you got your power button on the side, you got your two wheels. They're honestly laid out pretty much the exact same. Now you can dabble through some settings in here, but it's kind of like you get that classic tone, like a beep here, a beep there. What are you getting, I love on the Maxwells that you actually get a voice telling you EQ, what EQ, a bass boost, a treble boost, or whatever like that. Your side tone, which everything can be adjusted right on it. It's fantastic. It's implemented, again, so simple and so user-friendly. It's telling you, again, what you have on there, what setting you are adjusting, which I absolutely love. Now, as far as features and functions, yeah, battery life, is longer on this, but again, I charge my stuff all the time, so battery life doesn't matter with me on any product that I'm using, because again, I just charge it overnight and I never really notice anything. One thing that you're really going to notice different here is as far as the range. If you get out of your chair and walk around, you go into the fridge and you're still talking with some buddies or whatever, the Penrose, holy smokes, I'll walk out of my room right there and it'll start crackling up. It'll completely disconnect once I get halfway down the hallway. It's that bad. Over here on the Maxwell, I can walk across the house through other rooms, through other doors, different walls, and I still have a solid connection right there. That is, again, a big thing a lot of people experience with the Penrose. They have their dongle down there, move around, and you start breaking up, get a little crackling, this, that, or the other. It was that bad. Coming over here to the Maxwell, that is completely fixed. And again, we hit it here again, right? The Maxwell crushes the Penrose in features and function, usability, simplistic, and just the way it works. The Maxwell does it again. All right, so hopefully you're still with me here. You might have left already and bought yourself a pair of Maxwells, or you're just upset with me that I'm passing our ever so beloved Penrose headset here, I still love it, by the way. But let's talk about the sound. And this is one of the key points right here that shocked me, because I thought, again, I was doing all of my testing with the Maxwell. I'm like, wow, I'm loving this. It's sounding just like a pair of Audeze headphones, which I absolutely love. So I'm like, all right, let's bust out the Penrose here. Let's use them. And I'm just going to be disappointed. Let's just get this over with, But I wasn't. I really wasn't. The Penrose sound is so exciting. I've stated in my videos before, and I'm using stock here, right? I'm using stock EQs that are set on it. Over here, treble boost. And again, the Audeze one mainly. A little bit of bass boost here and there, but primarily treble boost over here, okay? And talking about the Penrose, they're so just lively, in your face, potent. It's just like, bam, here you go. This is what you're getting, and I love it, I really do. That's what I've stated in all my videos. The Penrose is so hard to explain. It's something you need to try, you know what I mean? And me personally, sound is subjective, right? You may hate highs, you may like heavy bass, you know what I mean? But I love this. It's such an exciting sound. It really is. But coming over to the Penrose, it's definitely more of a mature sound. It really is. You still have your highs, but you got your mids and you got your bass and everything's doing it right there. I'm going to go over and over, and I keep saying it, guys. I love my LCDs right here, and that's the vibe I'm getting with these. Now, of course, I'm not running through an amp, so this is definitely be a whole lot more. You know what I mean? This is like this on steroids. But again, I'm getting that Audeze headphone vibe over here, which was just really nice. Over here, I felt like you had a little bit... It sounds cruel, but an exaggerated sound. You don't want to say gamer sound, because a lot of gamer sound, you're going to think like classic Turtle Beach or classic Rage or something like that, where the bass was just overdone and the mids were so full. That's not what you're getting, but I feel like you're getting exaggerated with the highs. Now, of course, you can get in there, dabble with EQs and stuff, which I tried with these. We don't need to get into that. I don't recommend that. I recommend keeping it on that stock right there. But coming over to this, even jumping into the treble boost, it's still toned down a little bit from this, but with treble boost, you still got bass and you got your mids and everything's really doing what it should right there. It's such a mature sound that's going to get you across anything, any kind of game, any kind of music or video. I really love it. But again, I do love this sound as well. When I start testing, I'm just like, holy smokes, man, I want to keep on using them. You know, the sound is exciting over here. The sound is mature, but you can also take this sound over here kind of being exaggerated when this being really a true sound. Again, they're both very, very fun. But this day and age, me, again, primarily using Audeze headphones, I'm going to give the win again to the Maxwell. But this is a very subjective point. So at the end of the day, what the heck do we do? You know, I mean, the Maxwells, in my opinion, are crushing the Penrose. They're fixing everything we had issues with on the Penrose. They really are. My opinion, yeah, go with the Maxwells ASAP. Get them. But if you're going to stick with your Penrose and you're like, oh man, I got a piece of junk headset. Nah, don't think that. Do not think that. You still have a fantastic headset here, but yeah, the Maxwell is doing everything that you're upset with on the Penrose. It corrected that. So maybe once your Penrose break or you're like, okay, now I'm ready for that upgrade, then go with the Maxwells. That's what I would say right here. Or if you just got $300 laying around, yeah, go scoop up the Maxwells. But don't think you got a piece of junk headset over here. This is still fantastic. So hopefully that comparison helped you out a little bit. I wanted to keep it brief and to the point on each thing right there. Again, gamer to gamer, consumer to consumer. If you want goofy graphs, well, maybe I'll just email you the marketing material, because again, that is not what I do right here. I want to relate with you guys on that level playing field, and hopefully I did that for you here. Hopefully I was able to help you out. If I was, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. So we got more comparisons coming on the Maxwell. Bye now.